friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to come on here and share my November TBR. I already posted a video with my nonfiction November choices, but I also wanted to outline some other reading plans that I have for the month of November. So I will briefly recap the books that I intend to read for nonfiction November, but also talk about the other plans that I have. So briefly, I wanted to show you Her Honor by Ladoris Hazard Cordell. This is a memoir by the first African American woman who served as a judge in California, and she served in the Superior Court. I'm currently reading this. It's the 2nd of November, so I'm on point. I also want to read Divine Disruption. This is by the Evans family. This is a memoir about the loss of their wife and mother. The matriarch of the family died, and this is the book about how they dealt with that, along with divine help. And I'm going to be reading that to review for the publishers. I also got this one from the publishers. This is from Pegasus Books. This is The Sisterhood of the Enchanted Forest by Naomi Moriyama and William Doyle. This is a book recapping the experience of a couple who left New York and moved to Finland, and about the life that they found there in the forest. I'm looking forward to reading that one. I am also reading 400 Souls by Ibram X. Kendi and Keisha and Blaine. This is edited by these two people. A lot of contributions in here are from a myriad of other African Americans writing about the 400 year of African American history. So this is a little nonfiction, but it's a collection is what it is. It has poems and prose and nonfiction. I'm going to read it, whether it's nonfiction or not, is what I'm saying. Lost Cities, Ancient Tombs. This is 100 Discoveries That Changed the World. I got this one from National Geographic, and I still haven't taken the plastic casing off. It's just so pretty. I want to preserve it. I have Half-Lives, The Unlikely History of Radium by Lucy Jane Santos. This was also a gift from Pegasus Books. And NPR's podcast, A Startup Guide. This is by Glenn Weldon. Create, launch, and grow a podcast on any budget. This was a gift from Penguin Random House. And I also have another book coming from Penguin Random House that should arrive in the next few days. That is Immune by Philip Detmer. That is about the immune system, this wonderful system that keeps us healthy. Those are the books that I have for nonfiction November. I also want to participate in Indigathon this month, and I am still looking for a nonfiction book to read. I've read some really great nonfiction about Native peoples recently and want to follow that up. But for now, I'm going to be reading the novel The Seed Keepers by Diane Wilson. That is the book club pick for the Book Naturalists Book Club this month. And Diane Wilson is a Dakota woman, and although this is a novel, it is talking about the seed keeping practice, Native American families preserving their indigenous seeds and preserving the legacy of their families through generations. Really looking forward to reading that novel with the club. And aside from that, other reading plans that I have this month, I want to read some of the books that I intended to read in October and didn't get to. Two of those that feature very high on my priority list are the books for the Run Right Reads book club. Yeah, my book club. I didn't get to the books. I started one, didn't finish it because I didn't want to rush through it. So the two books for October were featuring the U.S. Virgin Islands. We had The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull and Land of Love and Drowning by Tiffany Yannick. And I didn't read those, so I'm still reading those in November, as well as the books for November, which I'll start later in the month. We're reading Antigua and Barbuda. One book is Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid. The other book is Musical Youth by Joanne C. Hillhouse. So these are the two books for the Run Right Reads book club this month. So I'm not late with my book club reading, as although I didn't read the book in October, our meeting isn't until this coming Sunday. So I still have time to read and still be on time. But now I have 4 books to read for the book club this month. That's fine. Aside from that, I also have other books that publishers sent me that I want to read and review. Akashic Books was kind enough to send me this book before it was released in July, and I'm just so ashamed that I didn't get to it, but I'm prioritizing it now. This is The Third Mrs Galloway, a novel by Deirdre Sinnott, and this is set in 1830s in New York. We are following the story of a white woman finding a fugitive black woman, a woman who's escaping slavery on her husband's property, and she has to decide whether she wants to turn in the person or keep their secret. And I'm really looking forward to reading that story in November. The publishers sent me, this is from Skyscape Publishers, they sent me Tahira in Bloom by Farah Heron. She's a South Asian author, and this is a story about a young woman who's immigrating to New York. I think she's coming from Canada. Such a beautiful cover. I want to read it pretty soon. I also got this book from the publishers. This is a YA book, and it's a pick for Reese's YA book club. Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. The author is Jamaican American, and the book is romance heavy fantasy. I don't read a lot of these books. I don't read a lot of these kinds of books, but it helps to have books like this on my TBR because they usually end up being enjoyable and easy reads, I'm hoping. Aside from that, this was my book of the month pick for last month, and Colson Whitehead won the Pulitzer Prize for his two most recent novels before this one. So I'm thinking he's going to be nominated for some awards. So I want to read this soon and keep ahead of that curve. Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead, new release. Aside from that, rereading this with my buddies. Tambourines to Glory by Langston Hughes. My buddy read group, Rosalie and Columbus, we read Langston Hughes' debut last month, so we want to continue with reading some Langston Hughes. I'm going to be rereading this with them this month. Tambourines to Glory, and other things that I wanted to carry over from my October reading. I should have said this before. I didn't read my Victober books. I just didn't get to them. And I found this Victober book that was on my TBR on my shelves, not my shelves, but my husband's shelves. My husband had this Barnes & Noble classic of Hard Times by Charles Dickens. When I originally put this on my TBR in October, I didn't know we had a copy. I was just going to read an e-copy from my library, but now I have this. So hopefully it will make this go even faster because I have a print copy that's small that I can tote around really easily. Hard Times by Charles Dickens. Also wanted to read or listen to the audio of The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Strange Lands, I think is the title. And that is the memoir of Mary Seacole, who was a Jamaican woman who worked as a nurse in the 1800s, at a time when most black women did not have careers. And she was able to write about her experiences. I've heard about Mary Seacole my whole life. When in my high school, we had a house that was named after Seacole. And I've never read anything by her. So I'm fascinated. Really wanted to get to that in October, but didn't. So that's on my November TBR as well. And finally, one of the books that I started last month and I'm carrying over this month is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fannon Jeffers. That's almost 800-page novel. I'm about 200 and something pages in. So hoping to finish that this month. And that's it. Those are about 20 books or so that I'm intending to get to this month. Would love to share that experience with you, share my highs and lows, my fails and successes. Hopefully more successes than fails, but you guys will be here for all of it. So would love to share that with you. I hope you'll stick around for more. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And let's chat in the comments. Would love to know what's on your November TBR, if you got to your books in October, or if you even make TBR videos, because, you know, we're readers. We don't always know what we want to read in advance. But the most important thing is that we're reading. So thank you so much for watching. We'll chat in the comments. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.